Are you an owl?
No, I just know it's so important who you choose.
Who you choose?
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward together with the Dekker Team.
We are excited to welcome you to another episode of Life's Inside Track. I'm Yetta Dekker.
And I'm Ken Dekker.
And it's where we get to share techniques, thoughts, tips, tools, tactics, and truths that we all need, we all deserve, you, I, everyone, so we can turn our house into home, our families thrive, we live the best life possible, and we build wealth wisely through real estate. We're going to consider which realtor you choose could be the difference between building wealth or missed opportunities, or worse, costly mistakes.
That's true. Because who you pick matters.
Who you pick matters.
Yeah. And, you know, one of the things I love is that they get to pick us sometimes.
And sometimes we get to pick them.
Yeah.
Like it's a two-way journey when we talk about picking.
Yeah. Yeah, because, you know, your realtor can spot opportunity on your behalf if they're looking out for your best interests.
Which is important.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, we're going to say that all realtors are going to have expertise and are going to have market knowledge.
Well, okay, hold on a second. Because realtors are licensed to operate in the province of Ontario.
Right.
Okay. And some of them try to operate in all of Ontario. And I would suggest that they don't have local market knowledge if they are not anywhere near the area.
Okay.
Right? So for instance, you know, would you hire someone from Windsor to list your house for sale in Ottawa or to find a house for sale in Ottawa? First of all, there's a distance, right?
Yeah.
And that realtor's got to drive back and forth or they can't serve you.
Right. And okay, we're not going to share all the horror stories
No.
about things that happen in those situations when somebody chooses that. We're going to talk about the upside of choosing the right one rather than so much the downside of choosing the wrong one.
Right. So I'm just saying, when you say it's a given that you choose a realtor with expertise and market knowledge, it's a given if you ask the questions and you're hiring the right person, for sure.
Okay. And so another thing a realtor ought to be able to do, if you're choosing the right one, is help you avoid those costly mistakes.
Absolutely.
By knowing how to spot the things, not only spot the property maybe for you, but spot the things that are amiss.
Like what, Yetta?
Well, like on a listing. Sometimes I've had buyers say, I want that house. And by looking at the listing and reading the realtor remarks as well as the public remarks, I can pretty much assure them they're going to run into a snag getting financing.
Okay.
Even if they get approval initially, by the time it goes through CMHC, they're not going to want to insure that property.
Okay.
Right? Looking for those discrepancies that unfortunately the listing agent wrote in the listing. An example, handyman special. That's scary.
That's hard to finance.
Hard to finance because not only is a lender looking for a great covenant, a great credit score, and you can listen to so many Life's Inside tracks that we've done, especially this month, because we've been all about the basics.
Yes.
And this is really about the basics too. It's just about the basics of the who part of the conversation, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't know if the who doesn't know what they're looking for, they may guide you down a path that costs a lot of money or time and maybe even causes you to miss out on the right one. The one that gets away because you weren't able to act because your deposit money was tied up while you're waiting for the conditions, or you spent the money on inspections when they should have been able to see that there was an issue in the foundation.
Yeah.
Because if you have a significant amount of experience, you're going to see almost all of them. Not all of them,
Yeah.
but mostly all of them.
Reminds me of a story of a young couple that called me and said, you were working with our dad. We want to work with you. And we found a property and we want to buy it. And there's, they say they've got another offer coming in. Will you do the offer? And the property was about 45 minutes away.
And they didn't have time to go back with you.
Right. And so I did the offer, but I made it conditional on inspection. And then they found out through some friends and networks that the house had some issues, which I would have found out in the inspection or if I'd gone to see it. So we went to see it and do an inspection.
But we didn't have a professional with us. We chose not to spend the money on a inspection because we were pretty concerned, even from the listing. We said, you sure you don't want to see us to see it first? Because we don't like to put an offer in if we haven't seen it.
So anyway, we tied up the property.
Yeah.
We went to see it. Their dad came with them. Their dad's in construction. So we were able to, analyze, and they said, no, there's all kinds of problems with the foundation.
Well, we were there together.
Yeah, you and I went.
Yeah, we were both horrified.
And what's funny is we got out of that one, and later she said, I want to see this property. And just from the photos, I could tell there was no foundation on that one. It was built on the ground. Like you can tell when the siding goes right to the dirt and it's starting to curl up a little bit, you know that things are rotting and it's not on a proper foundation because you can't see any stone or concrete above the earth. So we chose not to see that one. Then we found another one, which was a great property for them, and they bought it and they're tickled pink. But it's just the right realtor will protect you from buying something that maybe is outside of your scope of abilities to fix.
Well, or even to see that there's something wrong, right? And they ought to be able to provide options.
Yeah.
We never say, no, you can't. We say, these are your options, and these are the reason these options would be good or not good.
Absolutely. Because we're not telling you what to do. We're just creating the options, and we talk about it all the time. Like when your options are clear, your wisdom will flow. You'll make a wise decision is what we're saying when we say that. If you've got options.
And if you understand the ramifications of the options.
You know what those options mean. And one of those options is, who do you pick as a realtor?
Right.
Right?
And who do you come with to the workshop or the boot camp that we have June 5th? Like, who's going to come with you? Because we know that if you bring someone else to the June 5th Ultimate Sales Machine Boot Camp, you're going to keep the information alive and you're going to do more with it. So it always comes down to who. Yeah. And all you have to do is go to the dekkerteam.com website.
Yeah,
to
check
register.
out the details and register for sure. Yeah, and you probably want a realtor that's got experience. Maybe they live in a home. Maybe they've helped many people buy homes, or they're working on a team that has experience. You want to make sure that you're being looked after and that there's trust, compatibility between the two of you, right?
And that they're able to set up a custom search or a custom strategy based on proven performance.
Yeah.
You want some past history.
Yeah. Have you ever considered that collaboration with the right person or the wrong person could be your greatest asset or your biggest liability? We're glad that we can position you to build wealth wisely because it's about much more than the money.
Moving forward with the Dekker Team. Moving forward.